What does being productive mean to you? Personally, I think it means getting to do the things that I need to and want to do. It means being able to make the most of my time, doing whatever it is that makes the most sense for me. To me, it doesn't mean you're constantly working or that you're always busy. Instead, I believe it means using time wisely so that you can, yes, do things that you need to do, but also do the things that make you feel good, inspire you, and make your life better. I usually start off my days with a few minutes to myself. I have a list of morning practices that I like to do and make time for a few of them every day. I know it's not easy to have an elaborate morning routine. On the days that I wake up early, I'm able to do more things. But even on the days when I sleep in a little longer, I try to have the first few minutes alone to myself. I wake my toddler up and get her ready for the day. It's always so nice to see her when she wakes up in the morning, but it's not always easy to get her out of bed. It can be a struggle to get her through her routine and ready on time, because all she wants to do is play.
You want to hang it out here? Hmm? Yeah? How we doing? How am I doing? Blow your nose like you're blowing a bubble. Go again? Yeah, more. Stronger. Blow it. Like you're blowing bubbles. But in your nose. Food and mama. Mm-hmm.
Once she's off to daycare, I'm able to make myself and my husband some breakfast. This is my favorite meal of the day, and I just love the feeling of enjoying my breakfast in the morning. I usually have oatmeal during the colder months, as it feels so good to have something warm. I love knowing that I'm giving myself something that's good for me first thing in the day. I believe that having breakfast in the morning sets me up for a good day because I'm fueling my body with nutrients that help sustain me. It also doesn't hurt that it tastes good. I like taking some time to move my body in the morning. I would switch between doing a HIIT workout, yoga, Pilates, or having a walk. I started doing it because I wanted to maintain my weight, but now I really just do it because it makes me feel good physically and mentally. I've become so used to having this as part of my routine that it feels strange when I don't get much movement in. I really do feel my best when I do a workout or a walk, and it makes me feel like I can handle the rest of my day. I usually do this in the morning because it helps me to prioritize it and not forget it as the day goes on and things get busy. Sometimes I would take a walk after lunch to help with digestion or to help to refresh my mind as well. I start my first working block and get my most important tasks done first thing. I find that this helps me because I notice that I'm the most focused on the first part of the day. I like taking advantage of this by tackling the projects that take up the most brain power and need the most concentration. As the day progresses and my energy goes down, I'll still have capacity to tackle the tasks that don't need as much focus. Doing this, I'm able to get my needle movers done first, and I know that my priorities are taken care of. During this time, I either work in silence or have some lo-fi music playing in the background. I find that this helps me to stay focused but also enjoy work. After the first working block, it's time for lunch. I usually have a ready-made lunch that I can always just heat up, but on this day, I did have to cook a quick lunch. Whenever I make food, I always make sure to have enough to have another day, so that I'm maximizing the time I use to cook. This way, I'll get to enjoy a warm meal without having to do any cooking another day. After enjoying my lunch, I take a few minutes to work on this little embroidery project that I've been busy with. The last time I did embroidery was probably in grade school or high school, so I was not sure how this would go, but I wanted to try it out. I was pleasantly surprised that it went well, and I actually really enjoyed the process of it. I love being creative and working with my hands, and so this was a really nice way to recharge my batteries instead of scrolling mindlessly on social media. I find it so relaxing to do, and I usually do it with a little show or podcast in the background. I get to my next working block after lunch. This is usually the least productive time for me, as I feel a bit more sleepy and have the least energy at this time. I would usually schedule the tasks that don't need too much concentration at around this time, or schedule meetings and calls with colleagues, which help to wake me up. Sometimes I need to put on a more upbeat playlist in the background to give me some energy, and then other times I also take a quick walk when I need an extra boost. I also typically drink my second cup of coffee or cup of tea at around this time, which helps to keep me awake. After about 2 or 3 hours, I take a quick break and go downstairs to get myself a snack. I get a bit hungry in the afternoon, so I like having a little snack to tide me until it's time for dinner later. It's also a nice way to break from concentration for a few minutes and reset my mind for the last working block. If you're keeping track of your steps or try to stand every so often, this is also a good little time to stretch your legs and stop staring at a screen for a while. Now it's the final working block of the day, and it's time to do my last tasks and wrap everything up. I try to get as much as I can done during this time and tie up any loose ends so that I have as little things as possible to move to the next day. This is also the time that I check any last messages and make sure there's nothing else that's urgent for the day. I check my agenda for the next day to make sure I've prepped everything and I know what to expect. I hope this helped you to get a good picture of what I typically do to stay productive during the day. I love working in blocks since I find it helps to keep my concentration and I know when to expect a break so it's easier to stay on task. Regular breaks are so important to keep our energy levels up, refresh our minds, and keep us focused on a task at hand. I personally find that when I push myself too hard thinking I'll get more done, it can sometimes backfire because I'm working slower from being drained of energy. The key is to sustaining our energy in the long term and not burning ourselves out. So that's it. Please like this video if you enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!